Hi, this is my sixth lecture. In this lecture, we'll be seeing database languages. As we all know, like in programming languages, we have like C, C++, and why these languages are used? So that we can communicate with the computer, right? So in the same way, we have database languages, a language which helps us to communicate with the database. So in this lecture we'll be seeing database languages. DBMS provides these many languages: data definition language, data manipulation language, storage definition language, view definition language, data control language, and transaction control language. These are the languages which helps to communicate with the database. One by one we'll see how these languages are going to help us to communicate with the database. So these four DML, DDL, DCL and TCL are the main languages. Oftenly all the users use these languages more compared to SDL and VDL. We don't use actually SDL and VDL more. We use these four languages more. So the first one, data definition language, that is DDL. DDL statements are used to alter or modify a database or table structure and schema. These statements handle the design and storage of database object. See, we all studied the users of a database. You all remember users of DB. DB is database. So we all have seen two categories of users, that is actors on the scene and workers behind the scene. You all remember? So actors on the scene, we have seen DBAs. You all remember, database administrators. DBAs and database designers are going to use this DDL language. So what is DDL language? Data definition language. This language helps the user or DBAs or designers to create the structure of a table or schema of your database. So these are the ones, using this language only we are going to create a database. So which all commands we are using to create the database? The first one is create command, alter command, drop command. So these are basically commands. These commands come under DDL language. So create, alter, drop are the command comes under DDL. What is the help of create command? Create command helps us to create a new table or database or a schema. So we'll see in next lecture like how to create a database, how to create a schema, how to create a relation. Everything I'll show with the help of software. So as of now you understand the theory part. So create command is used to create a table. As I have told, we are storing all the data in the form of tables, right? Rows and columns. So create command helps to create a new table in this. What is alter command? Alter command is used to alter the existing table or column description. For example, student table have serial number, name, phone number and address I have created with this. Later, I want to add one more column with a date of birth. Again, I want to add one more column like which course he is offering. So, alter command is used to alter the existing table. This one is existing one, right? For this table only we have altered. We have added, we have inserted new two columns, that is date of birth and course offered. So that is alter command. What is drop command? Drop is used to delete the existing objects from the database. For example, I have a student table, right? If I want to delete this table or delete this object, then I will use drop command. With the help of example, I'll show in the next lecture using how to use these commands in a software I'll show. So drop is used to delete the table itself. I hope these commands are clear. We'll go to next language, that is SDL, Storage Definition Language. SDL language is used to specify the internal schema. In previous lecture, we have seen three schema architecture, right? Or environmental diagram we have seen. External, internal schema, and in between these two we have seen conceptual, right? You all remember? So what is internal? It refers to the storage details, right? External, how users are going to view the data. It supports that. Is conceptual is in between these two, external and internal. Like schema diagram, structure schema will be described by conceptual schema. So storage language is used to specify the internal schema. Like storage details will be defined by this language. But nobody uses this language, storage definition language, because database itself will manage the storage. We don't need to define how the data has to be stored and where it has to be stored. So we don't use it much. Next we have VDL, View Definition Language. VDL is used to define the user's views and their mapping to the conceptual schema. What is VDL? View Definition Language. We have a table with roll number and name, right? Student table. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For example, A, B, C, D, E, F are the name of the students. If I want to view some data from this table, if I want to view the data from the table, then I will use View Definition Language. We don't have any particular commands in it, like SDL and VDL. We don't have any commands. We directly use create view. Like this only we use. With example, I will show in next lecture. So keep watching my lectures. So View Definition Language supports the view of a user. Next we have DML, Data Manipulation Language. DML statements affect records in a table. These are basic operations we perform on data, such as selecting a few records from a table, inserting new records, deleting unnecessary records, updating and modify existing records. See, DML, what it does, Data Manipulation Language. This is my table, right? Student table. This is the structure. I have only two columns, that is roll number and name. I have data in it. 1 to 6, right? I have a data also in it. If I want to make a modification to this data, like I want to change the roll name of this roll number, or if I want to delete this data, 6 roll number data I want to delete. All this can be done by data manipulation language. So these are the commands we use: select, insert, update, delete. So what is select command? It selects the records from a table. Select, what it does, if I want to see the whole data of this table, here only I will write. Then you will understand it very easily. Roll number, name, 1, 2, 3. Adi, Sarah, Sai. I have 3 students in my table. Select what it does if I want to see the table of this student table. I want to data which all data we have stored in this table. If I want to see, then I will use this command, select command. Insert, if I want to add one more data in it, 4th record I want to add, like Akash. I want to add one more record in it. Then I will use insert command. Update, if I want to update some data from the table, for example roll number 3, name I want to change from Sarah to Sarika. Like this also I can update from. Delete, if I want to delete this data from the table, roll number 2 data, the student has taken admission in another college or school, then I have to delete from my record, right? So if I want to delete some record, then I use delete command. In DML, I have 2 categories: high level or non-procedural DML, low level or procedural DML. What these categories will see: high level or non-procedural DML. See, this question you will get in your exam, like define DML or categorize the DML, write the category of DML, like this question you will get. So high level DML can be used on its own to specify the complex database operation. High level, as the name suggests, complex database, whenever you have a complex database need to be created, that time you will use high level DML. Many DBMS allows high level DMLs. Nowadays, all the users are want to use high level procedural DML. Statements either to be entered interactively from the display monitor or terminal, or to be embedded in general programming language. See, this language can be written directly from the terminal. As I have told, I have a DBMS software, right? DB software I have. This software has its own terminal, its own display. If I want to interact with this software directly, you can interact, or if you want to embed or you want to combine some other language, there also you can use. Low level procedural DML. Low level DML must be embedded, it is stressing more on must be. Here you cannot write a single language in a terminal. it has to have combined with the other programming language. But in high level DML, you can directly interact with the software. But here you have to combine with the other language, then only you can use this language. This type of DML typically retrieves individual records from the database and processes each separately. One more disadvantage what we have is, whenever you execute any query, it has to be executed one by one. But what happens in high level? You will write too many lines of code, and at a time, if you execute, it will execute. But in low level, each time separately you have to execute or process the line. Next we have DCL, Data Control Language. Again, we don't use these two languages also. We use only which all language? DDL and DML. Just a second. DDL, DML command we use more. So DCL statement controls the level of access that user have on database object. For example, I have a database and there are 10 people who are going to use the database. If I want to give permission to only 5 people among these, then I have to grant the permission. I have only 2 commands in it, grant and revoke. Grant allows the users to read write on a certain database object. Revoke, it takes back the privileges. Grant, what it does? See here, as I have told, there are 10 people. If I want to give permission like accessing, modifying, deleting, all the privileges to all these 10 people, then I have to give the grant command. Giving a permission is grant. What is revoke? Taking back the privileges. So for example, if I want to give only the privileges only to 5 people. So revoke, what it does? It takes back the privileges. Whichever privilege I have given, like deleting option, I will give only to delete transaction. I will not give the access to all the people. Then I can take back that privilege. This is DCL. Next we have TCL, Transaction Control Language. TCL statement allows you to control and manage the transaction in database. These are used to manage the changes made by DML commands. See here, these transaction control language, as the name suggesting us, whenever a transaction takes place, that time only, along with the transaction only, we are using this language. Without transaction, we cannot perform this language. We cannot use only this language. In this, we have 4 commands, that is begin, commit, rollback and save point. See what begin does is, now I have opened my terminal. If I want to start my database, then what I will type? It is optional, but I will type begin. I will execute this begin, then it It means it's open a transaction, means you can start working on the database. What is commit? Now commit is, see here, this is my terminal 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 transactions I have written, like creating, inserting, deleting, updating. Commit, what it does, after performing all these transactions, creating, inserting, deleting, updating. After performing all these transactions, if I execute this commit command, what it does, commit will helps us to store or save the data, save the transaction in a database. Next I have rollback. Rollback transaction. Rollback transaction is used in case of any error. For example, see here, which all transaction I have performed? Creating, inserting, deleting. See, rollback is like undo option. Undo option, how you perform undo, like that you can use this rollback command in your database. See, unknowingly if you have deleted some, see here, with example I'll show. I have this terminal. I have create command, insert command. Then I will, what I'll do, commit. And I have deleted some, I have used delete command. Once you type here, instead of commit, you have typed rollback. What it does, it rolls back to commit. Till now you have saved your data, right? After executing, after performing this commit process, unknowingly if you have deleted or if you want that data again, then simply you will execute rollback. Then you will get the data. Delete will not work only. Next we have save point. It temporarily saves the transaction so that you can roll back to that point whenever it is necessary. See, commit, what it does? Commit will save your data permanently. Save point will save the data temporarily. The only difference is temporary storage we use save point and permanent storage we use commit. So these are TCL language. This is a brief diagrammatic representation I have shown. These all commands comes under, you can make a note of this. Again, it is an important question. So if you like my video, like, share and subscribe. Thank you.